So joining us on this segment is Gerry Lennon. So Gerry is the vice chairman, am I right in saying, Gerry, for the 1903 Dundalk Supporters Club. How are you?
Good, Chris. Thanks very much for having me on.
Not at all. Look, Gerry, I suppose there was two main reasons for bringing you on. You know, we've had chat to Lee previous about this when we were just getting registration up and running for the 1903. So where are we currently with the Supporters Club with regards to numbers?
Yeah, we were heading up towards the 300 mark at this stage, Chris. We had a very successful first sort of open collection session at the last game at Oriel. That was our first time sort of on the ground trying to, get people to sign up. And we had up on 40 more people come out as a result of that, both on the night and afterwards online. So we were very happy with that. So we're moving in the right direction. Obviously, the more people we can get, we feel the better in the current climate. But I think for a new group, from my recollection of previous supporters clubs, I think that sort of figure between 250 and 300 is pretty good at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. Gerry, just when you mentioned that, you know, you're actually on the ground at the last fixture there with a registration table. Because previous to this, it's all been an online version, I suppose. We were registering online for it all, but to actually sit down and maybe meet people face to face, I mean, it's something we've all been missing, let's say, in the
Yeah,
current climate as well. So it must have been good to just be able to talk to supporters as well who came up to have a chat with you. You know, some people might just have a couple of questions before joining or whatever. It was just good to actually have that opportunity to chat, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, of course, there's people out there who don't necessarily have technology or the access to get online or pay online or whatever. So it was good. There was people who actually sought us out, to go out of the way. There was others who didn't know we existed and were interested and said, yeah, look, we'll think about it, whatever. So hopefully over the last few games that we have in the season, we'll try and be there again, weather permitting and everything else. And we everyone's welcome. There's we just want people to be in a position that hopefully going forward we'll have some sort of a voice and a role in the overall development of the club. And the main reason that Brendan, God help him, at the time when he was out of frustration and anger a few months ago. One of the big projects that we'd like to work with here is development of a better infrastructure, a stadium, that sort of thing. That's a long term goal, but if we have to start somewhere, and obviously there's a lot of uncertainty out there about and within the club at the moment, and we don't have any great say in that at the minute, but who knows, things could change over the next couple of months, hopefully, and we'll see where it goes.
I mean, Gerry, that's really, in essence, the really important part to have a supporters club, because it's no matter what happens with regards ownership or wherever that goes in the market, to have this foundation of a large group of supporters, no matter what, whose only interest is keeping Dundalk Football Club going and improving it. Like that, it's so important. It's something we've been missing for a long time, isn't it?
It is, because traditionally the supporters club in Oriel Park was part of the running of the club, was part of the support network of the club, and was a big part of the fundraising for the club. And I'm going back, I was previously involved late 80s, sort of into the most of the 90s. And prior to that, going back even into the 60s, 70s, there was some fantastic people and committees who were the mainstay of the club, because directors can come and go and owners can come and go, but supporters club, obviously the people there can change, but if you have a structure and you have a good network of people there, the fundraising that was involved, and at that time the bar, of course, was run as a members bar, so this, the funds that went through the bar were crucial to the club. Now, obviously, that all changed some years ago when the ownership was taken over by private individuals, for want of a better description, or
Yeah.
private companies. And of course, there was still a strong voluntary aspect, and technically you could call it a supporters club. There are people who were manning the gates, manning the shops, working in the different roles around the club on match day. But the structure of a supporters club seemed to have fallen away in the last 10 or 15 years. So we felt it was important to try and get something back in place, because of the way, I suppose, we could see the club going, and the lack, a lot of the people who had been volunteering and getting involved in recent years and had done fantastic work under really tough, busy circumstances, when we had lots of European games, big league games, everything going on. Those people started to fade away or be pushed away in the last couple of years. So it was a concern, and we felt that was something that we should be trying to just to bring back the community feel, and the keep the local element involved, if at all possible, and to give people a way of feeling that they were together, other than just on a match night. But also, we wanted to be there if the worst came to the worst in relation to how the club moved forward with owners. If there was a potential that an owner was to just move on and perhaps leave a very difficult situation like we had some years before. So we were better, we felt, to be prepared a little bit for that. So therefore, I think Brendan and a number of other people got together 4 or 5 months ago, and the 1903 was born out of that.
Yeah. And then to bring it forward, like we had our first public meeting. I was in attendance as well as yourself, and a few opportunities, I suppose, to come onto the board, like yourself and that, came up, and people were put forward. But obviously, the big thing that we all took from that was the invite for the club, that nobody was able to turn up that night on behalf of the club. Since then, am I right in saying, Gerry, the committee members have met and had a discussion, and as a result of that, we've seen earlier this week a letter released by the 1903 committee about that situation. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. We had hoped, I think Brendan explained on the night of the public meeting, that we had expected to have somebody representing the owners, making at least a video discussion with us or something. So at the last minute, that seemed to have fallen through. It was disappointing, but so be it. It's what happened. We had hoped that they would have perhaps come forward later on to, if you like, explain or to keep the connection there, but that didn't happen. And so we wrote to them seeking a direct link, a direct meeting or something. We didn't even get really an acknowledgement of the letter. We left it for nearly 2 weeks for them to respond, and we didn't really get anything of note. There was maybe some soundings from some people who are involved at the moment in the club, but certainly nothing that was formal enough that we'd consider it a direct response. So we've come out and we've said, how I suppose we could easily say disappointed, but it went beyond disappointment. We felt it was disgusting the way that they just ignored it. Like, I mean, the supporters are ultimately what the club runs for. It's what everybody connects to the club, and the match day experience is fantastic up there at the moment. Since the support came back this season, the shed and the atmosphere has been just brilliant over there. Okay, there's been a few people who haven't been happy with the smoke bombs and the stuff like that. They do give a fantastic atmosphere, and as long as they're sort of done in a controlled manner and at least in a safe way, and that they're not being thrown about or anybody's put at risk. They do give a fantastic atmosphere. The lads in the shed, everybody, it's the great thing too is there's lots of ladies, there's lots of gents, there's everybody in there. The singing, the chanting, the atmosphere is just magical when it all kicks off. So for the owners to sort of then just ignore that sort of aspect of the town and of the people who pay their money to get in, we were really disappointed with that. And we made that clear in our statement afterwards. Now look, the lines of communication we hope are still open, and we would hope maybe they will respond. But the season's ticking away at this stage, and we just wanted a means of seeing if there was anything that we could all come together mutually, and was there something that could be done. But as it stands at the minute, the owners have decided to not engage with us. So we just have to wait and see how that one moves.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, Gerry, because I think the main thing that was, I suppose, kind of annoying a lot of supporters this year was the lack of community involvement from this club. Because, in particular, people like yourself who's been supporting this club so long know how important the club is to the community and what the community gives back to the club. And it's real vice versa, isn't it? And that's the whole thing. But for the owners to not want to engage with a large group of supporters whose only love is for the club, it's quite baffling, isn't it?
It's strange, Chris, because you'd have thought it was in everyone's interest to be running together as much as possible. Now I know everybody has the vested interests, if you like, and maybe it's simply a reflection of something that's in the background, and that maybe that there's stuff happening that we're not party to, and they may have the reasons. But at least they should have acknowledged that. They should have just simply said, we don't feel this is just the time that we can meet or we can discuss anything with you. That would have been the sort of straight up and mannerly thing to do, but they didn't do that. So we have to take it at face value. But we're hoping that they may still reconsider. We don't know, obviously, if Peak Six are going to be involved next season. We don't know who will be involved. We don't. That was also part of the whole getting the club together. Will there even be a football club next season if no owners are out there? If Peak Six decide to walk away next week, end of season or whenever, will somebody come in? Will they allow somebody to take over? So there's a lot of uncertainty, and it's not only. I'm conscious of the fact that it's the fans obviously are concerned, but we have to consider too, like, players and management staff, etc. It's a livelihood that's involved for some of them, and while it's we get a kick out of paying our 10 or 15 quid every week and going up to see the games, to them it's a life and it's an income, and we have to be conscious of that too. So it's just not a simple thing that we can all walk away from. But let's hope that something is happening and that something good will come. That we're at the ultimate low point now.
Yeah.
But
The only way is up, Gerry.
well, that's what I've been hoping for the last while. But we're, as I say, the season's coming to a close. We've only got 4 or 5 more weeks, and if we have a cup final, well, fantastic. That's something to look forward to. But you'd like to know at this stage, and I'm sure players and management would too, where they stand and who is going to be there. So it's just rumor and guesswork at the moment, but hopefully something will become clearer over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And then, Gerry, I suppose just going back to the supporters club then finally, have we anything else on the horizon coming up? Will there be another public meeting, do you think, fairly soon, maybe at the end of the year, to see where we are? Or is there 1 or 2 more projects before the season end?
Yeah, look, we're hoping to keep the recruitment campaign up. We want people to join. We want people to feel that they will have a say going forward, because I'd like to think that maybe if the current owners aren't interested in engaging with us, that if there is potential new owners out there, that they will see the 1903 as a means of keeping the fans together, getting everyone in together, and perhaps harnessing some means of, the goal, as I say, one of the big goals that we had as part of setting up the 1903 was a stadium project. And you can't do that. One side can't do it on their own. We need everybody on board. And I don't think there's any fan or supporter out there who wouldn't like to see a new stadium or a redeveloped stadium or whatever it's going to be. But that's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of support, sponsorship, or whatever it'll be. We there was a committee mooted, and there was people named some months ago, but we haven't heard a thing. I think some of the people have moved on already. So that's one of the things I think. The more people we get on board, the more people, the more strength we have. It's obviously strength in numbers. It's like any group or organization. So if we can get, more and more people involved, and we can get people to have a role and a say, we can expand, the ideas. And yeah, we will hopefully have another meeting. Whether we'll have it this side of the new year, I can't say at this point, Chris. But
yeah,
we, as a committee, I mean, we have a great, committee of people there. Everybody playing a role, everybody involved. Some there's the people who have worked from the beginning in it, and have put together the website and the technology side of it. Lee McConville and people like that, Andrea before that involved. The people dealing with the money, that all of these people, and a couple of us have only come in really in the last few weeks, but we all have one goal, and that's to better Dundalk Football Club and keep it alive. Obviously, is the immediate goal. So I'd like to think if there's new potential owners out there, that they won't see us as a threat, that they will see us as an asset going forward, that we will be there to assist in whatever way we can, and to, as I said, if there's a means of bringing everybody together again as a community-based club. And I think we've seen over the last couple of years that you need a local involvement, you need a local structure there. I'm not sure that this absentee landlord system is going to work. So there'll be skepticism if something else comes into place that's similar. So I don't know. I'd like to think that we could get the people who understand Dundalk, understand League of Ireland football, and that everybody can work together on that basis. And of course, we've got, a long way to go this season still. We're not safe from relegation.
No.
We could win the cup, we could stay up, a lot could happen, but there is the potential risk that we could go down. So that's something none of us really wants to contemplate, but we can't rule that out. And if that happens, obviously, you're going to see a completely different type of club probably next season, no matter who the owners are. So we need everybody to be ready to get dug in again and to carry on, in whatever way we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Gerry, I just want to thank you so much for giving your time tonight as well. And I suppose if anyone has any further questions or any of that, it's the 1903.ie is the website address. Am I right?
Yeah, that's it. And you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on most of the social media platforms. I'm not on all of them myself, but even just contact the club, contact we're at the games now, hopefully, as I say, for the next couple of home games when they come up, and if anybody is interested, it's €24 currently. We will look at trying to bring in different sort of pricing for OAPs
like different tiers or something. Yeah.
But our initial, we just wanted to get set up originally, so we went with €2 a month. It's not a fortune, and I know there's somebody has floated an idea today of a type of a supporters group, being maybe involved in ownership of the club going forward in a partnership with somebody new. So and it seems like a few £100 could possibly have an owner's 50% stake or whatever it might be. So you'd like to be able to, as I said, to have the structure there and have as many people there that you can have the meetings and do the stuff. So €2 a month, it's not a fortune, as I say, and hopefully people will see that, and pay it, and your year will roll through. You get 12 months whenever you join, and let's hope we have a successful end of season and that we still have a decent club there next season.
Can't ask for much more than that, Gerry. Thanks so much for your time again. And like we said to Leon before, and I said it to Brendan as well, you guys are more than welcome on this platform at any time as well. There's always a place for you, and we'll put some of the details for the supporters club in the description for the show tonight. Gerry, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Chris. All the best.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
I'm on the turn.